Welcome to the Own It Show. I am Heather Lee Chapman, your holistic performance and business coach, and I am so grateful to be here with Christine, who is a functional medicine practitioner. And I'm super excited about this interview today because we're all about making the uncommon knowledge common. And I know for many, they have no idea what this is, or they've never even heard of it before. So we're going to dive deep into what it is, what it looks like, how it can help you, and how you can work with someone like herself as a functional medicine practitioner. So without any further ado, please introduce yourself and share your story.
Hi, my name is actually Elizabeth. I am. It's okay. It's all good. No worries. I know you were talking with somebody else in the same
I just
field,
did
so
another interview. Sorry about that.
It's all good. It happens. So my name is Elizabeth.
With a big long last name.
Exactly. Yeah, I won't go into that because I know it is long. So, but yes, people call me Elizabeth or Liz for short. So either way, I am a certified functional medicine health coach. So I am in the functional medicine realm. What I do is I do actually partner with functional medicine practitioners somewhat, and then somewhat take on clients on my own. But who I focus on mainly are women over 40. So really the high achieving entrepreneurial women 40 to 60 years old who are making it in the world. And it's not just like entrepreneurs, but high achieving, meaning if they are, Wonder Women at home, being the moms, being the caretaker, but just a lot of stress that's in their lives. And also in business, they're executives. So it's just that woman who is taking on so much that she has chronic stress going in and day out, and then wonders why she can't lose weight, or she's having some hormone issues, or even gut issues she's not aware of. That's all caused with stress. So what I do is sometimes again, I partner with practitioners and given tests, because a lot of what functional medicine does go through is a lot of testing. And this is thorough testing. So I love to say test, not guess, because if you are trying to help somebody and you're just throwing stuff at the wall, sometimes it doesn't help, So you got to have that baseline. You have to understand where they're at. And that's the practitioner side. But as a functional medicine health coach, what I can do is go on top of that where they are at and help them along in their lifestyle to make those behavior changes so they can better their lives and they can manage their stress and they're not going to that burnout stage.
I love that. And we know that burnout is the disease of the 21st century. And for many people, they don't even know what the symptoms are, what it feels like. That adrenal fatigue is that you're trying to start the car, but the engine just won't going. There's not enough cups of coffee or energy fizz sticks or what have you to get you going. And it's because we need to take a moment and heal ourselves. So what I'd love is share with everyone, what got you into functional medicine, and for people, what is the umbrella of functional medicine?
Sure. I will actually start your first question, and you actually led me into this. So you talked about adrenal fatigue. So my background, really, I was in corporate world for about 18 years. I did experience my own burnout probably about 6-7 years ago. And since then, I stepped away from this company and from big corporations such as this, right? Such as the one that I got burnt out in. And then I got back into corporate world again. I was trying to dabble into other things. But once I got back into corporate world, it was in a different form. But at the same time, I was also taking on a lot, not just for the job, but also side hustles. So it's kind of like trying to do that high achieving thing, right? I was being that type A personality, go, go, go. I have to achieve. I don't know why, but I have to achieve, right? I have to be that perfectionist, controlling type of person that I was and that I am. So it was also at that time, not too long ago, and I was 41, so 2 years ago, I was experiencing such symptoms such as fatigue. Like you said, I could not go a day without coffee. And I'm not talking just the 2 cups in the morning. I then found myself having that 1 cup in the afternoon, just so I could stay awake. I mean, it didn't really help much because it just kind of crashed. You know, you kind of go up and then you crash. But it wasn't just the fatigue; it was irritability. I was bloated. I had I had puffy face. I was crying. I was dizzy. So as soon as I got up, like if I was to, you know, squat down or something, as soon as I got up, I was dizzy. Low blood sugar, just a lot of things all in one. And I was thinking to myself, you know, I don't have perimenopause. I can't have it right now. I'm a little too young. But I knew something was up. And I knew it was also at this time, you know, I'm into health and wellness, that I kind of heard about thyroid issues. And I also heard about conventional doctors not doing that full-blown thyroid test that is needed. So they have that baseline to where it's like, okay, well, you're good to go. You don't have anything that we see is detrimental or, you know, anything like that. So what I did was I took it upon myself to search for a functional medicine doctor, just because, again, I knew conventional doctors weren't going to give me what I really need. So I went out of the insurance network, because they don't take insurance, not a lot of them. So I searched for that functional medicine doctor, and when I went to him, before I went to him, I filled out like a 9-page document. It was like everything from my history to what I was. So this was very thorough. And then when I went to him and spoke to him, he spoke my language. I sat there for an hour and a half and just talked about what I was going through. So I was hooked. It was at that moment that I was like, oh my gosh, this is something we need to have more of. And so he put me on a protocol, a detox protocol. And I went through that. You know, it was a little rocky because there was a lot of detox that I had in me. So I took the full-blown test. I found out I was B vitamin deficient, like completely deficient. My digestion was poor, so I needed digestive enzymes. Just a whole host of things that I was shocked to see. And he did basically said that I had adrenal fatigue. And what that is when you are chronically stressed and you're on that go, 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 and you don't take care of yourself, you deplete your adrenals, which is that hormone that is your stress hormone, right? So it's your cortisol's being leveled all the time. You're always constantly, you know, stressed, but then you're fatigued, so you're tired, and it was just a whole host of things. So when we went through that protocol, I basically at the end not only got rid of my bloating and weight gain, because I did gain a little weight, but I also felt wonderful. I felt like $1,000,000. I haven't had caffeine since. So it's just been a life-changing, sure, ups and downs from then on, just because, you know, that's who I am. But I learned how to kind of step back and say, you know what, I need to take care of myself. So at the same time, even in my corporate world, I was like a wellness coordinator there also. So I volunteered my passion in being health and wellness, right? So I brought in, you know, outside vendors for lunch and learns and on-site yogas and on-site Pilates and all of these fun challenges. And it was at that time that somebody was talking to me about being a health coach. And I thought, you know, this is something interesting, because I do love to help others in their health journey. And I never really thought of doing this. So I kind of married the two together, being functional medicine and health coaching. And I went to search out for a school that does such thing, and have graduated, I think it was February. So this past February, I graduated. I had a certificate in functional medicine health coaching. Now, to answer your question, what is the difference between functional medicine and conventional? Well, like I kind of described it a little bit in my story, right? So conventional medicine and conventional doctors, now they're there for a purpose, right? We need them for those really like surgeries, these things that we need them for. We need them for like big, huge things that we can't just take in, every day, right? We need them for surgeries and all of that. But what ends up happening is we see them for little things like headaches. We see them for things like, allergies. Yes. Or even something, like, I have a stomach issue, like, I'm not feeling good, or, stuff like that. But these are things that when they treat the symptoms, they don't treat the person. So what ends up happening is, you get a Band-Aid on it, and then you're back to what you were doing, and, either getting it worse or getting it back and just never really healing fully. So then a functional medicine paradigm, what that is it's getting to the root cause. So I'm coming to a functional medicine doctor, say, for that headache, right? Well, let's see. Let's do those tests. Let's ask you like your history, because it can depend on what you've been through in your past, all the way up to what you are doing today in your lifestyle, right? And what you're eating, what you're doing, what your lifestyle is, who you're, it's just everything encompassing you as a person. So it's looking you as a whole holistic being, and finding out really what is the cause for that headache and why. So getting to that root cause, it could be your gut dysbiosis, like some leaky gut, right? It could be some, something you're eating, or you have an allergy. It's something basically that is the root cause, and we're going to treat that so that you don't get that headache anymore, or that migraine that I hear a lot of women get too. So that's the reason for this functional medicine doctors and functional medicine health coach, to guide them through getting to that root cause of their issues.
And so why I'm so grateful to have you on here today is I hope that you inspire so many other people who are, on their health journey, looking to make a career change, ready to step into their leadership, to become functional medicine practitioners, because I'm a holistic nutritionist. And for me, how did I end up there was because I felt like I was dying after university. I had extreme burnout. I had complete hormonal imbalances, which was causing the migraines. I had super low mood because I was so B vitamin deficient, trying to be vegan, but didn't know how.
Yeah.
Right. And I had allergies and health issues since I was born. And so when I finally, it takes a lot for type. So when I went and finally asked for help, my doctor's response, and the 15 minutes that you get, was, well, you're the healthiest person I'm going to see all day. I don't know what you want me to do, as he strolls out the door. And I was like, well, I'm dying.
Yeah.
That's not helpful to me. So a friend of mine, and this is something I had dealt with from birth, was bladder issues and UTIs. And a friend of mine, who had already finished nutrition at a different school, had said, I think you have these things. Like, why don't you go and see a naturopath? And my mom also struggled when we were younger with menopause, and the doctor wasn't able to help her. And she turned to alternative, I quote, alternative medicine. I'm going to call it the original medicine.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, no, but
it is alternative. Yes.
it was here first, though.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Before the petroleum meds that are the third leading cause of
natural
death
is from the ground. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And so then I found a naturopath who literally drew out the gut and leaky gut and where allergies come from and explained it to me. And I was like, I've been taking allergy medications for as long as I could remember. You mean I could heal it? Mm-hmm. And that's when I literally watched my whole life transform. And in the midst of studying nutrition, I also had a concussion. And so I had to take a break and heal from a concussion. And then I became a nutritionist who specialized in brain injuries, and specialized in brain injuries as a life skills coach. So I love that everything happens for a reason, which obviously got me to where I was. But it wasn't the doctor that helped me. Even when I saw the top neurologist in Toronto, I'm also a neuroanatomy trainer. So we do visual visual vestibular proprioceptive training, work with the brain and the nervous system specifically, something most people don't do. And when I went and saw the neurologist, top neurologist in Toronto post concussions, he was like, well, again, you're doing all the things like I would recommend and more. It's just going to cost you more to come here and pay for parking. Literally were his words. He's like, I could give you clinical Botox for the migraines.
Oh, geez.
I think I'll pass on the Botox, but thank you.
Wow.
And so for us, like, the root cause was never addressed. It wasn't until I went to nutrition school that I addressed the root cause of the gut health and the UTI issues, which led to the mood and the massive inflammation. I'd be in what I think some people call fibromyalgia. I'd wake up so swollen, in so much pain. I would, like, movement would be so painful, and it was an inflammatory response to dairy and foods and what have you, but more so just because of the gut, right?
Yeah.
So we actually have to pause and stop band-aiding things. And if one practitioner doesn't have the answer, it doesn't mean the answer's not out there. We all need to work in conjunction. Like you said, you need a surgeon when a surgeon is needed, but you also need a nutritionist and a functional medicine practitioner and an energy healer and a Reiki master. And,
Right.
right. Like, there's so much more when we begin to look at ourselves as a whole. We're a spiritual being having a physical experience with an intellect. Right. And when we can actually address the body as a whole, people will really truly start to actually tap into their full potential. And this is why I've spent over 15 years studying human potential and performance, and over a decade coaching and mastering how to treat people as a whole, because I struggled from birth and was never treated like a whole. And so that's why I'm so excited to have you here today, to have another perspective and just to introduce to people what they don't know, because most people don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Right. And that's the thing. That's why I'm a huge proponent for integrative, holistic, naturopaths, functional medicine, just because, a long time before, yes, we need certain technologies. I'm not going to say technology is bad, because we need certain technologies, but long before that, we were able to take care of ourselves, right? So how did that happen? There were plants, there were, things like, essential, like, not essential oils, but just like certain plants and herbs and things that grew that helped us. Food is medicine.
Yes.
And then, certain foods can trigger allergies or, inflammation, but we also have to look at what type of food that is, right? How is it grown? How is it, where is it grown? All of that stuff. It's all information. And that's the other thing. Food is information. It tells us whether we're being healthy and feeling alive and feeling vibrant and being, our capable selves, or is it, poison? Is it poisoning us? So yeah.
And my body is the best for that, because it's so sensitive that those poisonous foods give me such an inflammatory response. It pulls me out for 24 to 72 hours of chronic inflammation and pain and brain fog and gut upset and all the things. So I say for some, like, it's a choice. For me, it's not. And although I'm so much healthier than I was before. Like, at one point I could barely eat food and digest it at all. Like I truly believe in natural medicine and herbs and supplementation, and just really letting food be thy medicine and healing from the inside out, and truly getting down to that root cause so that you can stop band-aiding things, so people truly can feel good. And I think for most of us, we don't even know what feeling good really feels like. Because we've never felt it, because most of our foods are processed, they're genetically modified, they're grown in soil that's completely depleted of nutrients. So even the vegetables you think you're eating, there's no
Mhm.
strip farming anymore. That
Right.
doesn't happen. They're
Right.
they're not nutrient dense. That cauliflower is empty.
And it's sprayed with glyphosate, and so you're already putting chemicals and cancer, properties in your body. So, it's, again, it's all information, and that's what we're here for. And it's not just the food. You even said it. It's the whole being. So your mental state is huge, right? Number one, because, and that's where, health coaches come in too, because you can be given this protocol from your doctor, this wonderful protocol, right? But if you're going, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or, I can't, or I don't have the ability to do this, I don't have the money to get this, I don't, and you're mentally telling yourself that you can't do something. So overcoming such mental blocks is huge. And it's also getting to your why. It's getting to your purpose of the reason why you want to change for the better. And because you have the capability, we all do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I just want to add to what you just said before about the placebo-nocebo effect. So for many people, they're not aware of epigenetics, the biology released by Bruce Lipton. He spent 20 years getting this proven as a science. Our thoughts elicit a physiological response in our body, which impacts everything. And the placebo effect is when you're doing a research study and you give one group of people the actual pill and the other group of people a sugar pill. And then they've proven time and time again that half the people who take the sugar pill, because they believe they're taking the remedy, they heal. Yeah. But the doctor and the pill did not heal them. They healed themselves. But the magic of this is it works in the other way. So the nocebo effect, if you're told you're going to be sick and there's illness to be feared and this, that, and the other thing, then guess what you create in your body? Guess what the stress creates? It creates illness. Yeah. So they've even done this to a point of using a chemotherapy drug and giving half the people chemo pills, half the people sugar pills, and half the people on the sugar pills lost their hair because they thought they were getting a chemo pill and they thought they were supposed to lose their hair, and thus they did. So thoughts truly do become things, and this is science. This is epigenetics. Exactly. And when we realize the power we control through food in our mind, people will truly begin to own their health, because right now they've given the power away to the doctors and they forgot that they heal themselves.
Yes, the doctors and the government, unfortunately.
Yes, so. Yes, big pharma.
Yeah.
I think, yes. Yeah, I am. Oh, girl, that's for a whole.
That's exactly. Let's not get on that one, because
that's like a 45-minute lecture. I got it. We'll have to have you back for another day on politics, food, and
right.
pharma. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. So let's share the last couple of tips and tricks. We'll close out here. What are a couple of tips that we can share with the audience so that they can truly own their health?
The first thing, and I always start with this, and I know you're going to agree, breathe. Breathe. And people think, okay, that's stupid. That's so easy. I do that every day. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. Exactly. And that's a lot of times, that's why the chronic stressors out there, shallow breathing or no breathing. Do you ever like realize when you're in that stressful situation, how you're really breathing? You're not, because it's shutting it down. You're basically either in that fight or flight or freeze state. And it's shutting your breathing down. So all you have to do is, you don't have to, yes, do that big belly breathing and do it, 2 to 10 times, however, you can do, but just breathe. Make sure you breathe through your nose and out through your nose or mouth, whatever helps you. But that gets you back into that parasympathetic state for that rest and digest. And that's what gets you down.
And I've been using the Wim Hof method and teaching it. It's a 3-minute DMT release, and it is absolutely beautiful, and you feel so incredible. And so that's one. I also teach straw breathing, which is diaphragmatic breathing. So you can grab a straw and you can practice breathing through a straw, as well as to help release the stress and switch which system your nervous system is in, whether like fight or flight. So you breathe in for 4 but out for 8, so you double the exhale.
Yes.
So those are 3 incredible breathing techniques you guys
Yes.
can check out and try, because guess what actually keeps you alive? Oxygen.
Hello. Your breath. Without that, you're gone. You're done. You're nothing. So yes, that's the first thing. And the second thing, I'd like to kind of put out there is move. That's, again, it's simple, but there's a lot of sedentary people that don't move. And I'm not talking, doing a HIIT class like every day, or, pump and iron every day, which is, we should be doing, getting the heart rate up and getting, your muscles, not built, but at least get, some muscle done, especially when you get older. But I'm just talking about moving, getting up, walking around. I do that every once in a while. I walk around my building here and, just get up, stretch. But if you need to walk, if you need to do yoga, if you need to do whatever you love to do, just make sure you move. So those are my 2 key things that you can do. I have plenty more, but I do have an ebook, so I'll tell you about that later.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to just add on the movement, because I think most people think they move, but if they actually tracked if they move, they realize they don't. Because guess what? We used to catch our food. We used to walk everywhere. We didn't drive in cars. We didn't sit at a desk for 8 hours a day. It's not what we're meant to do. So I dare everyone to actually track your movement. And so I don't wear a step counter. I don't like the Bluetooth stuff and what have you. And I aim for 3 intentional movement breaks a day. So one's like mobility or dancing or yoga or Pilates. And then the second is usually like just a 15-minute walk, just to take a time out, 15 or 30 minutes time out outside, as if possible, of course, because sunshine.
Vitamin D.
Yeah, nature is so healing in its own. And then the third one is like a bike or a workout or something like that. Yes. So actually putting in, and I love the 4-Hour Body by Timothy Ferriss. Mm-hmm. And he literally talks about, like, if you have the option to take the stairs or the elevator, take the stairs. If you have the options to bike or walk versus take your car, bike or walk. And when we start making those little decisions every day to move versus sit still, it's that compounds over time, right? It's not those 3 1-hour HIIT classes, because there's 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. And because you worked out for 3 hours this week does not mean you moved.
Right. And you said it perfectly. It's the small little things that could end up being the big things, right? The big changes. And it's exactly what I tell my clients every day. It's like, we don't need, you can have that vision. You can have the vision of what we're getting to. But we need to take those small little steps just to get to that vision. And that'll be sustainable. It's the only way it could be sustainable.
Absolutely. And you build up to wherever you're going. I love it. Just get started where you're at. I've healed from back injury where I could only do 10 minutes at a time.
Yes.
And now I just went for like a 40-minute run last night, right? 10 minutes of joint mobility, gentle movement, to 40 minutes of running. And I think what people forget is they have to earn that, right? Yeah. So movement is something we earn. So be patient, enjoy the journey, find something you love, and just get moving.
Exactly.
So let everyone know where they can learn more about you, get connected with you, and your website or anything like that.
Yes. Well, first let's try let's go to the website. So my website is elizabethdicristofano.com. Long name, I know. So you can find me there. You can sign up for a free complimentary discovery call. It's 30 minutes just to understand what a health coach does and maybe how I can help you. Also on there, you can get my free ebook. This is 5 ways that you could set yourself up for a high performing day. And so that's the website. I also have a podcast. So it's called The Root of Our Health. And again, it's an alternative health and wellness podcast, really for women over 40, but some of the topics can be for anybody. So take a listen there. I am on Instagram somewhat, and that's Elizabeth.DiCristofano, and LinkedIn, Elizabeth DiCristofano.
Amazing. We'll have those links for you below, guys, so make sure that you check them out. And I'm just so grateful for you coming on here with us today to help the uncommon knowledge become common, and so that we can all truly own our health, so we can actually live life joyfully, because it's meant to be blissful. And when we truly can own our power, we can truly enjoy every day as our best selves.
Yes. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for all your tips and tricks. We greatly appreciate you. Expect magic and miracles. Stay happy, healthy, and wealthy. And we'll see you on the next show.